Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, which has just reached the 1,000 followers last week. Ding 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 ding! I am super happy about this, and here I would like to thank you for showing up, for your trust and for subscribing. This means a lot to me. I really love producing these videos and helping you to lead a more meaningful life with the help of tarot cards, and therefore here is your latest dose of weekly mindful tarot check-in. Well, the other good news is that this week I have prepared a small experiment for you guys, and the reason for this is that I have got a lot of comments and questions regarding the upside down positions of the cards, which may be sometimes, I know, pretty embarrassing. Using upright and reverse cards as well is a question of methodology. This is a decision that you can also take in case you use the cards yourself. And as for me, for some years ago, I have taken this decision that I'm going to read the cards also in a reverse position. Accordingly, I always mix the deck in a way that some of them are going to show up in a reverse position. However, I like to experiment, and therefore I have decided to do this week it in a different way, and therefore now all the cards are in an upside position, and I'm really curious about what does it make for you. What is the difference? Do you notice that something is missing or something is different? Is it better? Is it more understandable? And so on. I would be very grateful if you could comment this, because this would be a great help for me to understand how can I serve you better in the future. All right, having said this, let's get started. And here is another good news. And this time the good news is that this week's reading is much more positive than the last week's. I know that the last week we have talked a lot about negative loops, negative creation, distraction, and channeling the way in an unproductive way, where tarot has done us the favor and compensating this week by delivering a much more positive message. And yeah, the message that we have here is wonderful, but yeah, let me get started. So ladies and gentlemen, the main topic of the week is signified by the Strength card. And this is a great news as well, because the Strength is all about strength, inner power, and finding the connection to your inner resources. Sometimes we feel out of sync of this, and we feel like we are weak, we are not enough, and the like. And the Strength card brings this positive message that yes, you are enough, yes, you can, and you have the inner strength and the inner power to manifest whatever you would like to manifest. A very important aspect of this is to tame the beast within. As you can see, we have here this wild animal, this Leo here, and this animal is tamed by this really great, strengthful female power. In case you are able to tame your instincts, your wild impulses that sometimes may be embarrassing, in case you can approach them with a loving, compassionate attitude, then you are going to be able to control them, and this way turning them from destructive forces into positive, constructive, creative forces. And this is the Strength card is about. I love this so much. So again, this week you are going to have to find this inner power, this self-confidence, and this way creating something cool. If this wouldn't be enough, we have here as a complementary card the Six of Wands, which is also a very positive card. It is also about self-confidence, success, and public recognition. And indeed, when this card shows up, you can expect those things. You can expect that you are going to find your inner confidence, your self-confidence. You are going to finally reach and manifest something that you have been working on for a long time. And you are also going to get the public recognition for it. And therefore, these two cards together are very, very promising. If I put them together, The common things are, again, self-confidence, success, inner power, and also controlling and ruling the animals with him. We have here again the Leo, and here on this other card the white horse, which often represents the ego in the tarot. And therefore this week we are also going to be able to control those wild animals within us, and this is a great stuff because this is key for manifesting. Manifesting is a great word because what we have here in the risks and potential column is the magician. And the magician is the manifestor in the tarot deck. He is the guy who is the master of his own life. He knows why he is here. He knows who he is, and he also knows how to manifest what he wants to manifest. As you can see, he is kind of connecting heaven with earth, bringing down to earth some cool things, and he knows exactly how to manifest those things. And we see it by taking a look at this table. Here we can see a wand, a sword, a cup, and a coin, and this represents the mix and match of different skills that plays a very important role in this manifestation. So again, the magician is mixing and matching those different skills and things and resources, and this way he is creating something really cool. He is a successful guy. He is the manifestor, and he knows again that he is the master of his own life. This is a great potential. Make sure you make the most out of it. The magician is completed by the Seven of Wands. And this card is super interesting here because this is the next card in the wand suit after the Six of Wands. And this is also a very logical next steps, because once you have reached something here, right? Once you have finally created some success, the next step on the journey is to kind of protect this new position, right? To stand tall and to stand on a firm ground and to protect your piece of a cake that you have finally got, right? And indeed, this is what the Seven of Wands is about: maintaining a position, being persistent, even if in the face of adversity or other external forces sometimes. So what we have here is a risk and an opportunity for maybe even being attacked or challenged by others. However, given that it is completing a magician, and given that we have here two very positive cards, I would say that yes, you are going to have this strength the next week, and you are going to be able to draw upon your inner strengths. If I put these two cards together, what also comes into my mind is a common symbol. You can see that they are, the two of them are maintaining a position which is very confident, and yes, it is about knowing who you are, being able to communicate it, and being able to maintain your position. And this is also a great potential for the next week. And now the last question is, how are we going to be able to manifest all this, and how can we reach this? And the answer is delivered by the moon. And I love the moon. This is one of my favorite cards recently. I have been working with this card a lot because it carries a great potential. The moon is the card of the shadow work. The moon is all about things that have been pushed into the shadow world. It is all about traumas, fears, repressed emotions, painful experiences, and the like. So it's basically everything that you wouldn't post to Instagram or to Facebook because you are ashamed of it, because you don't want to take a look at this, because you haven't accepted it, and so on. All these impulses are in the shadow world, and as long as they are in the shadow world, they can take over control. And therefore, a very important invitation from the moon here is to take a look at them, as we have already seen here, right? So make sure you take a look at the embarrassing impulses. These are also, by the way, represented here in a beautiful way. Here we have the dog, which represents the domesticated, edited, cool version of ourselves, which is okay and which we are okay to show up with in the outside world. And the other side, we have the wolf here, which is the embarrassing, untamed animal, which is all about everything that we are ashamed of or we are worried about, right? And again, your job here is to take a look at this part of yourself. Take a look at the parts that you have rejected so far, and by integrating them, becoming one, right? So not splitted anymore, but to become one, because if you become one, then you can become a creator, a manifestator. So this is one thing about the moon. The other thing is that it is also often about a journey in the dark. A journey where we are not really sure of where we are heading to, where are we exactly at. And on this journey, it is very important that we trust ourselves, we trust our gut, and we trust the instincts that are, by the way, often delivered by this untamed part, right? It's another interesting thing again. So make sure you go on with your journey in the dark, and make sure you don't let your fears and worries run away with you, and make sure that you are not projecting into the future based on painful past experiences. So this way, not repeating the past, but be open for healing, be open for change, and try to leave the past behind. This is going to be very important, and this is also confirmed by the complementary card, which is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is the card of the mental transition, a rite of passage that has to happen. Often this transition is painful and stressful. We don't want to do it. However, it is very, very needed, because where we are at this point is not serving us anymore, and therefore we have to make this transition. This is represented and illustrated wonderfully here by, going and transitioning from one shore to the other, even if we are not sure what is waiting for us on the other side. Again, this is necessary. This mental change, this mental transition is very much needed. And the very important part of is this, to ask the question, what keeps me in the past? What attitudes and other mental blockages are limiting me from becoming this creator that we have seen here, right? So again, try to leave the past behind by asking the question, okay, what is still blocking me? How can I release this? And how can I make sure that I go on in this journey? Because again, you have to make this transition so that you can go on your journey. Again, so if I put these two cards together, I see here a wonderful invitation for following your instinct, following your gut, and by trusting and going on with the journey. And again, an important part of it is this, to take a look at these blockages in the shadow and try to work with them and try to release them. All right then, now last but not least, let me show you the whole constellation as always, because this is where it gets really interesting. All right, let me quickly wrap this up. So again, the next week is going to be about finding success, self-confidence, and reconnecting to your inner creative power by, first and foremost, taming the animal within, taming the beast within with compassion, loving eye, and a gentle, kind approach, as we have seen here. In case we are ready to face these beasts within and to tame them by integrating them, then we can become healthier, we can become more wholesome. This way, becoming one with ourselves, we can become the creator of our own lives and maintain our position that we have reached here. And this is a great stuff. A very important aspect of here is going to be, again, healing by leaving the past behind, by being open for change, and leaving every attitudes, fears, traumas, etc. behind that are blocking us from becoming this manifestor. If we are able to do so, again, then we are going to get in balance, and we can transmute these sometimes embarrassing or destructive forces into creative ones, and again become the magician. I love this constellation. This carries a great potential. And now that the channel has reached 1,000 subscribers, I also have the opportunity to communicate with you on the community tab, and I'm going to do so by posting the constellation there as well. This way, making you possible to take a look at this from time to time during the week. I highly recommend doing this because it helps you to keep the lessons in mind and to make the best out of it. All right, this is for now. Thanks for showing up. I am looking forward to seeing you the next week again. Till then, take care of yourselves. Ciao.